Welcome once again. Here is your favorite channel, Israeli Math Concept. In this tutorial, I will teach you how to calculate for the t-score of a given raw score. Don't forget that t-score is also a standard score, just as we have z-score. Do well to trace back to my previous video where I made some introduction about z-score so as to understand quite the difference between t-score and z-score as well. Let's go ahead to read out the question we have on the board. The question says, calculate the t-score of the following data in the table below. So the first row of the table is about the individual raw scores, while the second row is about the frequencies or number of people that really possess all these scores here. All right, let's go ahead to state the formula for calculating for the t-score of all these individual scores we have here. The formula for finding the t-score or computing for the t-score of individual raw score is given as t-score, which is equal to 10z, or those one we call it z or z, whichever way, it doesn't matter really, then plus 50. So this is the basic formula for finding or computing for your t-scores. But what is this z actually? The z simply stands for your z-score. Z-score. Okay? That means if you must be able to find your t-score, there is need for you first of all to know what your z-score is about. Then you multiply your individual z-scores with 10, then you add 50 to it to get your t-score actually. The formula for calculating for the z-score will then be z-score, which is equal to x minus the bar x all over the standard deviation. Take note that the x here are just the individual scores we have here. Then the x bar is simply the mean or the arithmetic mean of all the scores we have here, while the SD in brief or in short simply stand for the standard deviation. Remember, whenever you are trying to find your t-score, there is need for you to first of all know what your z-score is about. And since we have z-score here, we also have standard deviation. That means we must find our standard deviation, find the mean, then compute for the z-score, and whatever we get for the z-score, we can then use it to substitute for the z-score here to find our t-score. Let's go ahead to do that. First thing first, we shall know what our mean is all about. And remember that the formula for finding the mean of a given set of data which involves frequency is given as your x bar, which stands for your mean, which is equal to summation of fx all over summation of f. Let's have our table to make it convenient for us. The first horizontal line, then we cross it with the first vertical line. All right, for the first column, we shall have our x, which stands for our individual scores here, which are 72, 66, 59, and 60. Okay? Then from the formula here, we have fx. So here is our x. Let's also have our f. And remember, our f are the individual frequencies we have here, 1, 2, 5, 3. So let's put it down, 1, 2, 5, and 3 respectively. So we have the product of f, which is the frequency and the scores. Hence, in the table, we also have our fx. So let's multiply out. We shall multiply the frequencies to all the scores we have here. Let's go now. 1 multiplied by 72 will still give us 72. Of course, any number multiplied by 1 will still give you that number, right? Then 66 multiplied by 2. Let's use our calculator to make it more easy for us. So we have 66 multiplied by 2, and that will give us 132. So here we have 132. Then 59 multiplied by 5. 59 multiplied by 5, we have 295. Then for this one, 60 multiplied by 3, 60 multiplied by 3, That will give us 180. That is very simple. From here we have summation of fx. That means we have to sum our fx here. Let's sum every value we have here to know what we shall get. So let's begin to sum. The first one is 72 plus 132 plus 295 plus 180, and that will give us 679. So here we have summation of fs as 679. Then also we have summation of f, which is equal to, let's sum every value we have here. 1 plus 2 is 3, 3 plus 5 will give us 8, 8 plus 3 should give us 11. Okay, here we have that our mean, which is our x bar, is equal to summation of fs, which is 679, divided by summation of f, which is 11. So dividing further, our mean will be equal to, when we divide 679 by 11, we shall have 61.73, approximately 61.73, approximately, actually it is 61.7272. That is recurring decimal, so I have to round it up to 73, 61.73. Having found our mean, which is our x bar, let's go ahead to find our standard deviation, which is our SD. And remember the formula for our standard deviation, which is SD, since we are talking about frequency as well. Hence we have the formula as summation of f in bracket x minus r bar x all squared, and that is all over the summation of f, that is summation of the frequency. Okay, let's go ahead to compute for the combined parameters we have here in this table. So first one is x minus our x bar. So here we have x minus our x bar, which is our mean. Then the second one, we have f in bracket, x minus x bar all squared. Then the last one, which is f in bracket x minus x bar all squared. Let's go ahead to compute for this. X minus x bar simply means we shall be subtracting our mean. Remember, our mean is approximately 61.73. So we shall be subtracting our mean from our individual score. Let's go ahead to do that with our calculator to make it fast for us. The first x we have here is 72. So we say 72 minus our x bar, which is our mean of 61.73. So here we have 61.73, and that will give us 10.27. 10.27. Then the second x is 66. So we say 66 minus our x bar, which is 61.73, and that will give us 4.27. Then our next x is 59. So we say 59 minus our mean of 61.73, and that will give us negative 2.73. Okay, then the next one, which is our x, is 60, which is the last one. So we have 60 minus our mean of 61.73, and that will give us negative 1.73. So x minus x bar all squared in this column simply means to square all the values we have here. So let's go ahead to do that. So here we have in brackets 10.27 all raised to the power of 2, and that will give us 105. That is 105 rather, 0.47, approximately to 2 decimal place. Also we have the second one, which is 4.27. So 4.27, when we square it, we have 18 points, 18.23. Then here also we have the next one, which is our negative 2.73. So in brackets, negative 2.73 close your bracket, then square it. Then here we have 7.45 approximately to two decimal place. The next one is gonna be negative 1.73, negative 1.73, then all squared, and that's gonna give us 2.99, sorry, 99 approximately to two decimal place. We are through with this column. Let's go over to the next column. The next column is about the product of the frequency, which is f, and every value we have in this column. Let's go ahead to do that. So we shall say 1 multiplied by 105.47, and that will still give us 105.47. Okay, then this one is 2 multiplied by 18.23. Let's go ahead to do that. 2 multiplied by 18.23. And that will give us 36.46. Then the next one is 5 multiplied by 7.45. 5 multiplied by 7.45, and that will give us 37.25. Then the next one is 3 multiplied by 2.99. So here we have 3 multiplied by 2.99, and that's going to give us 8.97 respectively. So from the standard deviation, we have summation of f in bracket x minus x bar all square. So that means we have to sum it here. Everything we have here, that is the meaning of summation of f in bracket x minus x bar all square. So we shall sum every value we have here. Let's go ahead to do that. Let's start from 105.47 plus 36.46 plus 37.25 plus 8.97, 8.97, and that will give us the total of 188.15. Okay, that is very simple. Then summation of f, already we have it here to be 11. So let's go ahead to find our standard deviation here. Our SD, which is our standard deviation, is equal to the summation of which we have 188.15, 188.15, then all over summation of f, which we've summed to be 11. So here we have 11. So our standard deviation is equal to 188.15 divided by 11 will simply give us 17.1045, but let's approximate it to 17.10, approximate it to two decimal places. Okay, having done that, let's go ahead, since we found our mean and our standard deviation, we found our mean and our standard deviation as well. Let's go ahead to compute for our z-score. Actually, I'm supposed to include it in this table, but because of no space, let me bring it down here for convenience. So here I have my z-score, then also the last column, I will also have my t-score, which is the actual thing we are trying to find, okay? Don't forget that. So let's compute for our z-scores. How do we find our z-scores? From the formula we have here, our z-score is equal to x minus x bar all over standard deviation. Let's go ahead to do that for the first score of 72. So the z-score for the first score of 72, I will substitute 72 for my x here. So I have 72 minus the x bar, which is the mean of 61.73, and that is all over the standard deviation, which we've gotten to be 17.10. 17.10. So solving further, we're going to have, when we subtract 61.73 from 72, that means saying 72 minus 61.73, that will give us 10.27, and we shall divide it by 17.10. Okay, so when we divide 10.27 by 17.10, actually it will give us 0.060, approximately to two decimal place. So our z-score here is a positive value of 0.60. Take note that these scores could be either negative or positive values. Don't forget that. But once you are talking about t-score does not have negative value, and it does not have a decimal value. So whenever you have your t-score to be a decimal value, approximate it to whole number. The reason is because t-scores does not have negative values, and secondly, it does not have a decimal or fractional values. Take note of that. Then for the second one, I have to wipe my board to help me accommodate other things I want to calculate. Pardon me for that. Okay, having done that, the next one we have 66 as the next score. So we then say the z-score now, the z-score for the score of 66 here. I will substitute 66 for this x here. So I have 66 minus x bar, which is our mean of 61.73. So 61.73, and that is all over the standard deviation, which we've gotten to be 17.10. 17.10, and that is equal to, here we have 66 minus 61.73, and that's going to give us 4.27, and that is all over 17.10. Then dividing further by 17.10, we shall have 0.25 approximately. So the next z-score we have here is 0.25. Okay, let's go ahead to compute for the next z-score of 59. So we have the z-score for the score of 59. That will be 59 minus our mean of 61.73, and that is all over our standard deviation of 17.10, and that will be equal to, let's calculate with our calculator, 59 minus 61.73, that will give us negative 2.73 all over 17.10, and dividing further, we're going to have 17.10. Okay, it will give us negative 0.16 approximately to two decimal place. So we have here negative 0.16. So let's go ahead to calculate for the remaining ones we have. So let me wipe here to help me complete for what I really want to do. Okay. So for the next one, the next z-score, and that is for the value of 60. So 60 minus our x bar, which is the mean of 61.73, 61.73, and that is all over our standard deviation of 17.10, 17.10, and that is equal to, with our calculator, 60 minus 61.73. That will give us negative 1.73, then all over 17.10, which will give us, when we divide further by 17.10, that's going to give us negative 0.10 approximately to two decimal place. So here we have negative 0.10. All right, we succeeded in finding our z-scores, but we are concerned with finding our t-score, which is the last column we have here, which is what we are asked to find. Let's go ahead to find our t-score. I will also wipe here for convenience. Permit me for that. All right, take note that the formula for our t-score is equal to 10z, and the z is the z-score plus 50. So for the first score of 72, the standard t-score, the standard score or t-score for it, for the score of 72 will then be t-score for the score of 72, which is equal to 10z, 10 in bracket, that is multiplied by z. Remember the z is the z-score, which is 0.60, 0.60, then plus 50. Plus 50, don't forget that. And that is equal to, when we multiply 10 with 0.60, so we shall say 10 multiplied by 0.60, that will give us 6. So we have 6 plus 50. And when we add 6 to 50, that will give us 56. So our standard score, that is our t-score here, that is the standard t-score here, will be 56. Then let's go ahead to find the t-score for the next value of 66 here. So that is for the second one. So we have the t-score here to be equal to 10 multiplied by our standard z-score of 0.25. So this is 0.25, then plus 50. And that is equal to, when we multiply 10 by 0.25, that is going to give us 2.5 plus 50. And 2.5 plus 50 should give us 52.5. Yeah. All right, that is correct, 52.5. So here we have, but take note of what I said earlier, that t-score must be a whole number. And for that reason, we shall approximate 52 to whole number. And approximating 52 to whole number will give us 53. So here our t-score will be 53. Then also for the third one, which is our third score of 59, the t-score for it will then be 10 multiplied by the z-score of negative 0.16, negative 0.16, then plus 50. And solving further, we have 10 multiplied by negative 0.16. That will give us negative 1.6, then plus 50. Plus 50 here. And negative 1.6 plus 50 will give us 48, 48.4. Then when we approximate 48.4 to whole number, it will be 48. We are rounding it down because the 4 here is not up to 5. So we run it down to be 48 to whole number. So here we have 48 to whole number. Then the last one, I will wipe here so as to complete for my solving. The last t-score we have, t-score, which is equal to 10 multiplied by z, 10 multiplied by our z, which is our z-score of negative 0.10, negative 0.10, then plus 50. So that is equal to, when we multiply 10 with negative 0.10, this is 10, don't forget. So when we multiply 10 by negative 0.10, that will give us 1. Then the 1 plus 50 will simply give us, sorry, it will give us negative 1. Then the negative 1 plus 50 will simply give us 49. Alright, so here we have the last t-score to be 49. So this is actually how to calculate for the t-score of your basic raw scores. So these are the raw scores and these are the t-scores. Don't forget that your t-scores must be a whole number. So t-scores should not be in decimal or fractional form, and as well t-scores should not be a negative value. So it must be a positive value and as well a whole number. Don't forget that. Remember, if you found this video useful, take notes, subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can as well reshare my videos and also follow me on Facebook as well. Thank you. Remember to reshare this video. Goodbye.